I am Eva Malice and welcome you to the Hellenic Film Society's celebration of women for Women's History Month. We have the pleasure to speak with Penny Panayotopoulou, director and co-writer of WISHBONE. WISHBONE is the Hellenic Film Society's March selection for our Always on Sunday series, and it will be presented at the Museum of the Moving Image on Sunday, March 15th.
Ms. Panayotopoulou was born in Athens, studied law at the University of Athens, and film directing at the Stavrakos Film School. She received a BA in photography and film from the Polytechnic of Central London, University of Westminster. Her short films have won many awards and participated in international festivals. Her debut feature film, Hard Goodbyes, My Father, premiered at the 55th Locarno Film Festival, won the Golden Leopard for Best Actor, and set out for an acclaimed international run. Her second feature is September, which premiered in the official competition of the 48th Karlovy Vary International Film Festival, was nominated for 6 Hellenic Film Academy Awards, and won the award for Best Leading Actress. Wishbone, Penny's latest feature film, received many nominations, winning Audience, Debut Actor for Yannis Karababas, Best Photography, and Best Director awards. We're very, very fortunate to screen Wishbone at this past year's Hellenic Film Society's New York Greek Film Expo in 2025, with Penny and her co-writer Kalia Papadaki attending and participating in wonderful Q&As and just enjoying us and our audiences throughout.
Penny, a degree in law and film. Why film? And how did this prepare you to become a film writer and director? I mean, it kind of seems like an opposite pursuit.
By the time that I went into the university, there were not exactly studies in Greece for cinema. I always wanted to do cinema, but my parents wouldn't permit me just to do that, which would be equivalent of going into just a private school and not a university. And my parents, they were very much insisting on my cultural my culture, formation. So law is not something that it was completely out of my concerns. I do like the philosophy of it, and I thought that doing that I would keep interest in something more artistic as well. So I was going to the cinema only, viewing films all the time when I was in the university. And then at the end, after I finished it, I took my degree. I just revealed to my father that I was also going into this private school in the same time, which in the same time I took my degree. My professor there was very satisfied and said that I really had the talent to continue on that. So I persuaded my parents, and I went to London to follow my proper studies in a way, to do that and to devote myself in that thing. I cannot imagine myself doing something else because cinema was a life experience for me.
Well, it's a fallback plan, I suppose. Law can always be your fallback plan.
Yes. And I think that I was so much, I liked at the time very much this Nouvelle Vague in France, and when the films they were showing in Greece, I was always going, and it seemed to me that it would be easy to film. It was not like the old Hollywood movies that it's very static, big productions and everything. You just have a camera, you grab a camera, you go into the street, you put 2 actors or 2 amateurs, and you film whatever you like. It seemed more easy. It was the times like that, so I took that decision.
And you took a big risk, and it's paid off.
I took a big risk because at that time it was nothing. I mean, it was not an industry in Greece at all anymore, nothing at all. So it was very risky in terms of how do I support myself financially. But fortunately, I made it in a way.
And you made a great film with Wishbone. And I always want to ask a filmmaker, why tell, because you co-wrote it too, so you weren't just directing. Why Wishbone? Why this story? And why now?
Mostly the story existed before I took the script and co-wrote it. I mean, the script was written by it was based on a short story, not a short kind of short story of Kalia Papadaki, my writer. So I liked very much this short story as a short story, and then we said, okay, let's do it like a film because I liked very much. I liked very much what was in it, like the essence of gap that how you say. I mean, rich and poor people they have. You know that there is a very there is a very, very difficult times for Greece to go on, to proceed on living. You know, normal people like medium people, κοινωνικές τάξεις, πώς το λένε, δεν μου έρχεται τώρα.
Class structure.
Yes, the class structure is very much differentiate. It's very much different from the old times in Greece. You know, now it's very apparent. There is a huge difference between the classes, and I wanted mainly to speak about that, but in a sentimental way, because in Greece nobody talks about it, and I don't know why. It's like as if it doesn't exist at all. This kind of problem for me, it's not a problem. Of course, it's what moves the story. You know what moves the story, but that was the first hint that initially, you know, made me wanted to do this short story into a film. But then, of course, when I start writing it, I put more of my elements of myself inside, more kind of tender things about the family and about the whole environment that those people they are living, and kind of a nostalgia for something that it will be forever lost, if not always already lost, you know. And I'll try to deepen this the social structure of the story into something more existential, which would be more suitable for my taste and for my kind of art, what I want to do in art.
You are clearly a very good director because when your lead actors keep winning prizes
I,
as best actor, it
yeah.
really is a reflection onto you, not only of your directing hand, but your casting. So tell us about Yanni Karababa. This is his first debut in a feature. He's done television, he's a play, he does a lot of theater, but this is his first feature. So how did you find him and why did you choose him to really steer this film forward?
It is his first feature, and I don't think that he had a lot of things done for television anyway, not even in film, because he's really young. He was when in film 30 years old. You know what? I mean, we searched a lot with my casting office, and I couldn't find really one person that would meet all the qualities that I wanted him to meet, like my hero. And when I saw Yanis reading a poetry, a Kavafis poem, you know, just for life or for just a magazine, a
Mm.
fanzine in Athens, I really liked first of all his looks. Simply his looks, you know. There was something very, very old-fashioned in his beauty. It was not like now, you know, young boys look more like um, kind of both sexes in a way, whereas Yanis had a very old-fashioned male look. And I loved this look of his, you know, because it was something that was not, it's not in fashion, and moved me his face and how he wrote, how he read this poem. So I decided to to hear him, to listen to him with other actors, especially with the kid. And then I gamble. You know, it's always a bit of a gambling when you take something, because especially if somebody has not acted before, like you take Isabelle Huppert or you take, you know, Mark Ruffalo. You know, you've seen him in many, and you know that it's good for the job. Here it was something else, but this virginity of him, you know, but nobody knew about him, you know, before the film. I liked very much working with him because it was like working not with an actor, but it was like working with an amateur, really. Not that I don't appreciate his ability in acting, not at all. But for me, it was so virgin his face that it was like, it's somebody I met in the bus, and then I told him, "Come on, let's come and make the film. I like this thing," and that permits me also to create a relationship with them, because without creating a little bit of relationship, it's not so easy to work all the time for me.
Well, it was an amazing choice, and there's a wonderful sincerity and empathy about his personality that is, as you said, pure and uncompromised. And I think that it was an amazing selection, and it really was conveyed in the film. So you really felt what he felt. So no, touche.
Thank you.
It was
And,
great.
and
And,
thank you.
and
And
his
also,
relationship with the little girl was extraordinary.
Yes,
What chemistry
yes,
there.
so,
it was
Penny, what is
something.
your favorite part of the filmmaking process? You've been involved in so many facets, from selection of the actor to the writing to the directing. What gets you most excited?
I think the editing process I like very much, to be honest, because it's more, I feel more isolated from everything. And then I know I can do everything I want. I like filming as well. I don't like casting very much because I'm very shy, and going into all those meetings with actors, and again and again and again, and you go into these meetings, and then you know from the beginning under your guts who is going
Mm,
to be the person,
right,
but you
right.
have to pretend with the others that you're searching and searching and searching.
Mhm, mhm,
This is very tiring for me. I like very much the location part, because
mm,
when I'm looking for locations, this is really the film. I can feel the structure of the film, the beginning of the structure of the film. When I try to find the places, for me it's very moving, because I can hear words from the dialogues in there. I can see the faces. When I take the pictures of the location, really, I form the situation of the film. Yes, and then it's the editing as well. Shooting is very nice. I like shooting where I can find things that they're really unplanned, and it's happening. When it's happening something that it was not pre-planned, then I'm really happy. But when it's only what I've planned and it's happening, even if it is very good made, very well made, it's not so exciting for me.
mm.
Well, the unexpected, that magic moment, that's what
Right, right.
everyone strives for, and you're lucky if
Exactly,
it can
yes.
happen.
Loss and grief are a common thread in all of your feature films. So, from a young boy coming to terms with his father's passing and hard goodbyes, my father, to the loss of a pet in September, and the loss of a brother, a patriarch in Wishbone, what is it about this topic that has made you want to explore it in so many ways, from so many different perspectives?
No. I think fear, the fear, the is what makes me want to deal with all these things. It's the fear of losing, and the fear
Mhm.
of loss. And since I was very very young, like a baby, like in school, primary school, I was always I had always this how you say aporia, this question,
Hesitation?
Wonder, a question.
this wonder, when this exists and then it doesn't exist anymore. Where is it? I mean, I couldn't come in terms with time. I guess that with people that grow older and then they die, and then you have a pet and then it dies, and then everything for me, all the changes, big changes, huge changes, was a big source of fear for me, like a kid.
Mhm.
That something is going to change, and instead of being able to adapt to these changes, for me all those changes were death, in a way. So I confused, let's say, when I was young, change with death. So this was a huge big process for me to that's why I, I do this
So,
subject.
have these themes in your films been therapeutic in some way? Or have
Could
they
be,
put you at peace with
could
the
be.
topic?
let's say that while making them, I'm not thinking about death.
That's good.
I'm thinking
Distraction.
about all the other things. I'm thinking about the film,
Okay, that's
But
one method.
it's not like I'm a dark person, dark in mean like I've been through dark periods, of course, for sure. Everybody does.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm looking forward to these dark things, but fear is a big substance for me inside, and I'm compassionate with other people as well. But what connects me with the other people is through this quality. I would
Mhm.
say value, this value that when I
Mhm.
see to other people, that connects me to them too.
Right.
You know.
No,
And you're
it's
I
right,
don't
but
know.
every change is a little death if you think about it, right? Because we have to move on somehow. There's a change. But now, talking about change and moving on, what's your next project? What are you working on?
The next project is a solidarity project, the solidarity between women. The main characters are three women that they are coming from a different, quite different environment. They meet by accident in a place nearby the sea, which is a
Mm.
little bit isolated from the big, from the town, from the cities, and they all, again by accident, we don't know it in the beginning, and we don't know yet how come this will be in the film, in which form it will be in the film, but all the three of them have experienced the same loss, exactly the same loss, but they don't know it because they don't speak about it. So they speak about all the other things apart from that, which is the basis of their life. And
Mm.
they
Mm.
get connect without knowing each other that they do have exactly the same experience of loss as the
Mhm.
spectators also. And we watch them how one gives hope and a good quality of life to the other ones, all the film, and by the end we'll see what will happen.
Okay, well, we don't want to spoil
Yeah.
the
It's
surprise,
kind of,
but given the fact that they're from three different perspectives or ways of or societal levels of life, um, do they process the loss differently?
yes, they process loss differently, exactly. They process loss, it's only that they're hiding it,
Mhm.
that's the main thing. They're
Yeah.
hiding it. It's what I was telling you before. There is something there that brings them together,
Mhm.
and this is, you cannot touch, it's not tangible what brings them together, and we don't know it, but we have to make it feelable. I
Mhm.
have, like a director, to make it, to bring it up in the surface without talking about that, like they are not talking about that.
Mhm.
So it's quite a difficult project, but it's sad, but without showing sadness as well.
Mhm.
It goes to the opposite. It goes towards the light in a way. We're going out of the something darker to something lighter.
Well,
And when do you
go get
anticipate?
it done so we can
Yeah,
see this. I
when
want to
can we
Yes,
see
see.
it?
but it's about the women's solidarity as well.
Mhm. No, that
It's
sounds
it's
Lovely.
wonderful.
I think
yeah,
we need more movies about that.
Uh-huh.
I
Now,
think so. Yes.
now, speaking of great transition, you queued it up perfect, Madam Director. My question to you is, we are celebrating Women's Month. It's March,
Mhm.
and no one is an island, right? We all had help from someone, some or many people for that matter. Did you have female mentors, women mentors that helped guide your career, guide you as a person? Who were your mentors?
Difficult to say. I mean, this is a very good question, but first of all, my analyst,
Fair?
Okay.
who, who who was a woman. She's not alive anymore. And second, I liked very much one woman director when I was younger, Martha Medjaros. I liked very much her work.
Mhm.
I also liked very much the works of another woman director, which is called Kira Muratova. And I was I was admiring very much those directors, and it's not necessary that somebody, you follow the steps of somebody, but only by seeing something and feel connected with it. I think this is mentoring to me. Kira Muratovi, especially in one film which I don't remember the title, but I will give it by the end of this interview. I will remember sure. And all the films by Martha Medjaros, they were like a light for me as well when I was young.
You've taught film in the university at Thessaloniki, correct?
Yes, it was for 5 years.
For 5 years. So, what
Mhm.
is your advice to aspiring directors and writers? Um, what advice can you share with them to encourage that could be encouraging and not discouraging? Because it's a
Um,
difficult field. It's a difficult field.
it's a difficult field, but I think nowadays it's not that difficult as it used to be honest, because
Hmm.
everything has come to the masses in a more easy way. I mean, the machinery of it, the connection of the internet, that everybody can watch films. I mean, huge amount of films, and you can learn from that. I
Hmm.
believe that the main thing learning film is just to watch films. That's the
Right.
best thing that you can do to yourself. Not to
Hmm.
read about films, just to seeing films. You see films, and in my experience of teaching, what I would say to them is to be very, very careful, not only to their own ego, but what is happening outside their egos. I believe that it's nice to follow your heart and to do your things, but there will be plenty of time for that. There is a time for absorbing things from the outside, and
Hmm.
especially in Greece, this is a little bit of a problem. They have to absorb more. They don't
Hmm.
absorb more. They are very hectic in doing their own things.
Right. Right.
My advice would be to absorb a lot, to watch a lot of things, to absorb
Mhm.
them, like as it used to be with the books when we were younger. That was easy. You open a book and you go into this world, which is not your world, but it soon becomes your world because you are in it. You put your fingers
Mhm.
on that, and this is the main thing that I would say to a young person now.
I mean, photographers say the same thing about students who are studying photography. The best thing to do is just get out and take photographs. You can read
Yeah,
about it, you can read books, but getting out and just getting the experience and practicing observing is the best lesson of all.
exactly.
So,
You
um,
have to absorb things. You have to absorb because this is all the film is that. It's details, it's behavior.
mhm,
So when you said about acting is exactly the same thing. You watch the behavior and then you make it happen because you have dozens of images of movements, little movements. People, what they touch their nose, they when they're in the bus, one is grabbing like that the
mhm,
pole,
mhm.
the other one just to put standing with a. I mean, you have to absorb all this. It's
Yes.
things that it comes to your mind without deliberately thinking about it. It
Mhm.
just happened that when you need them, they are automatically there if you have absorbed everything.
Penny, how would you describe yourself in one word?
Impassioned. I don't have
Really?
passions. Yeah.
Okay.
This is
Accepted.
yeah. And this makes me want to things happen quickly and keeps me young in a way, things like that.
I would throw out thoughtful too, because you're very thinking. You are full of thought. Think you see things from various perspectives, and yeah, perhaps then you take action.
Yeah, I like action. Um, I must say the other thing is that I'm a bit lazy as well.
That I
Lazy
don't see
in a
at all.
way. I take my time for thinking as well. I mean, I am in very good terms with loneliness. I like being alone and
Mhm.
thinking. I don't δεν βαριέμαι ποτέ.
You
You
never
I'm
never
get
not
bored.
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 You never
No,
bored.
I'm not bored easily. I'm not bored easily because maybe this is because I was a lonely child. so I know how to deal with that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I grew up alone, so this made me imagine of 100 ways to be with myself. You know,
Mm-hmm.
this
Mm-hmm.
helps me now a lot.
Interesting. Yeah,
Yes.
interesting.
Absolutely. I'm an only child too. And
Ah,
we convene, the only children like to convene together. And I would always ask my friends during the lockdowns of COVID, are you lonely? Are you okay? And all the only children, it was our Olympics. We've been training for this solitude and confinement for our whole lives. So I completely understand when you say you like your solitude. And
exactly. Yes, we've been training for that.
well, Penny, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you taking the time. We appreciate you coming to New York and spending time with us during the expo. And we can't wait to see this new film. You can catch Wishbone on March 15th at the Museum of Moving Image in Astoria. And if you enjoyed our conversation and would like to learn more about the Hellenic Film Society and Greek film, please go to our website at www.hellenicfilmsociety.org.
Thank you, Penny. Daddy
Thank
Star.
you very, very much.